Ihr Lieben, bevor diese ganz toll angenehme Stunde von Fragen und Antworten losgeht, gibt es ein bisschen weniger angenehme Sachen, und zwar die Autos, die hier draußen parken. Ich habe mir eins gemerkt, ich weiß nicht, ob es immer noch steht, so ein schwarzes mit MRJ 3336. Die Autos dürfen da bitte nicht parken. Also erstmal kommt niemand mehr raus und zweitens ist es ein Emergency, ein Notausgang. Also bitte die Autos da entfernen, die am Zaun hier stehen. Okay? So the cars, they are standing here outside of the tent, on the fence. They are not allowed to park there because there is an emergency exit. So please drive the cars to another place. Okay, ich weiß jetzt nicht, ob ich diejenigen erwischt habe hier. Dann warte ich noch mal nach der Frage- und Antwortstunde. Okay, vielen Dank.
대하고도 대하고도 좋아.
Daga wang de topa de la tene wang de topne yang wang traku shenda kangala man jambiyangi jambyang traku kashi yozora de kenla chapke de
등다 그래서 라그래.
된다 보죠 여러 ne gelong dann. Ich will jetzt sowieso, wenn ich nur welche Frage, wissen doch gar nicht, welche Frage. Nee, ich weiß nicht.
Ach so.
Java dann Tembazo oder Chasergi die Cheba, dann Yonten die Cheba Chio serva. Rapsung dann mal imba das da Yonten Mintawa Chio serva.
등은 랍종 많이 비키체 파티요. 잡자템부터 똑같이 비키체 파티요.
왕식라데는 다들 잠양 따고 강가다 잡히레스.
네.
산지 건방 탑산에 대단 양도 친리 지요세로 근데 친리 데 근나 딩근스 친리 데 고그레스 그래서 데 산지기 다 it's a 컨디션 같은 유효 상태거든요.
상지 샀나? 상지 그네.
근데 senang console setting 상지 상황에서 바꿔고 sen 가연 조바 항공도
그게
근데 상지기
칠레
근데 다 보면다 여러 가지 시지 완다기
그래.
여러 이 미네 공부에 스카르스나 센 상지 따와 조고
야, 근데 네 명라 찌리스나 네 명라 작속니 봐. 근데 이제 개농 상 좋아. 당 연태 상디 가나 트네 고그르베스 아 아하하
Ansage wegen der Autos. Bitte, bitte zuhören. Die Autos, die draußen am Zaun parken. Das eine ist MRJ 3336. Bitte die Autos unbedingt wegfahren. So the cars, they are parking here outside on the fence. There is the emergency exit. Please park the car on another place.
다 트레텐지라고 야, 다 들을 수 있는 말은 말해. 그래? 뭐 네, 제통 맞았어도 삼아요. 말에 달라요. 오케이.
So we're starting the questions.
한번 더. 네.
So Kempo picked one question here. The question is, what's the difference between Mahamudra and Dzogchen in terms of the ground, path, and fruition?
오케이. jirtangtene tangatsu lamma rinpoche kongre ke mar menga ktola nang shaglete ane ngatsu tsu te nyamle chi shangna ti chokana sari doris riwa yina yang ta chorangtsu ti sem ktokpa teso yang lamma rinpoche gunglo cheba tang ane tutsu shirang miwal tene ane ngatsu ma le jagro chis lami kata nangwaris. Tila tene, ane ngarang ke ha kowa so ma le jakinis.
So first, in general, I would like to say that we have received all of the important essential instructions from Garchen Rinpoche. And actually, it is enough for us if we just put that into practice without any other instructions. But still, maybe it is due to his advanced age and also lack of time that he requested me to answer some of your questions. So because of that instruction, I will just answer your questions to the best of my abilities.
Yungyate and the Zo Karsana, Lamarambuchin Jaran is Rua. Tomato Hemixik Leka Kayami, Hina Yang Tenepe, Lamikitan Ninka and Be Lomanabia Tuat Telelandis Jarotis, Ganandu, and the Tikat Macho Betjing Toronto Land Temperature Youngs.
And so also I want to make clear that the reason why I'm really coming here, why I'm actually here, is just to meet Garchen Rinpoche, and I have nothing else to do. But then Rinpoche requested me to answer the disciples' questions, so I need to listen to Rinpoche's instructions. So that's why I'm going to answer your questions.
Jirtang chakchen tang dzogchen ni poke chepar kando slaona chakchen tang dzogchen ni ke chepar tela tis lam rimji patang jikchar ni ke chepar chember dogs jikchar.
Now the question is about what is the difference between Mahamudra and Dzogchen. And so there might be a slight difference when it comes to the path of practice. And so that is one is more focused on the one who practices in a gradual way, and then the other one who understands things in a more instantaneous, a quicker way.
Chakchen Ravasina Tangbo and the Be Hinik Tola, Sem Nature Yabuzik those Tangbo Hinirva, Hinegom, Sem Nature Yabuze, Sem Nature Yagoni Sona, Tigangola and the Be Tawangulik Luxut those. Rava Tayang Tambo, Nasu Chinawa Tamji, and the Sam Kanawaris and the Nawa Sams Ngutu. And the Be Tayang Sam Kanang de Tayang Pene and the Be Tabe Karsene nangwa tayang tene ta tongzok ndabo sirwa ane chuni ke long la tongzok ndabo nangwa tongba ngotu tongba hosar ngotu hosar sungjo ngotu ne ene hosar hu zarwa sem jirang hu zarwa tangbo ane nangwa sem ngotu sem tongba ngotu tongba hosar ngotu hosar sungjo ngotu bigone ene rimji yandro gdos 동사 성조로만 타마 리리 당보 나왕 샘승고도로와 당보 ngotu가 당보 ngotu가
And so according to the Mahamudra tradition, first in the beginning, we actually first develop a state of shamatha or calm abiding. And so here we need to first gain some mental stability, as an ability to abide in a calm state. And once that is cultivated, then we are introduced to the nature of the mind, the view. And so there are different levels to that introduction. First, we are introduced that the outer appearances are actually appearances, projections or perceptions of one's own mind. So appearances are one's own mind. And then these appearances themselves, which are one's own mind, then the mind is introduced to as empty. And then this emptiness is introduced to as luminosity. And then luminosity, the luminous nature of the mind, is then finally recognized as a state of great unity or of great wholeness. So in this way, according to the Mahamudra tradition, we are introduced to the nature of the mind in this gradual way.
Zokchen kapsa tangbo tawa ngonchu gdos rwa tangbo ngo he sie gris ngo he tene tsar zo slap gris tene temba thop sang du tangbo inje minje zokchen log la an tawa ngel ngonchu gdos ngonchu ne tene hine sem ke necha an sem ke necha an sem temba thop gdos ta ti luxus do zokchen tangbo ngonchu ya kikchan ro 착한 당보는 hineli sem 당보 내자든 세네 야렘진 점진 로야라 직 림진 저거 제탕 족체의 당보를 비데 따왕우지 당도 에네피 직찬도스 디체파르시오리스 덤마토 힐라 체파르멘도 디빌 체파르멘도 람우투 비캅스 체파르도스
So then, according to the Dzogchen tradition, it goes actually the other way. We are introduced to the ultimate nature of the mind right in the outset, in the beginning. And then once we have recognized it, then the next step is to perfect one's stability within that, so to perfect, to continue to abide within it, and then finally one attains stability in that. And so that's the other way around, because in the Mahamudra teachings we start with the stability aspect first, and once we have gained stability, then we are introduced to the nature of the mind and so on. And so in the Dzogchen, that stability comes actually last, and first we are introduced to the actual nature of the mind, which is the last step in a Mahamudra. So that's why in the Dzogchen it is referred to as like you instantly recognize the nature of mind, and the path of Mahamudra is called more a graduated path. But that's the only difference in terms of the... So the ground and the fruition are the same, but the path is different. So for the fruition, according to the Dzogchen view, the fourth appearance is the exhaustion exhaustion of dharmata itself, of reality itself, and then the fourth step of Mahamudra, which is the state of non-meditation. So that is the fruition in both traditions, and it has different names, but actually it is exactly the same.
Sa mizab zos yorwa, nga so tawa sa mizab zos yorwa. Ti ngola china chepar chun mendos. Kanza kahi chakchen sabgdo. Kanza kahi zokchen sabgdos. Rwa?
And so now regarding which one is more profound, actually in terms of profundity, there is no difference between Mahamudra and Dzogchen. There are some practitioners to whom Mahamudra is more profound, and to others Dzogchen is more profound.
Jitsu mila repa, tambo Dzogchen ki nen jonti baris. Dzogchen ka lama tenrwa. Nyuma ka hije Dzogchen gomris. Ku ju la ngenjong ta joshi tawa la kanya pen to maso. Tene chis ko loda marwa tenso. Tele tene chakchen top son ko tse ji lu ji sang ji son. Kanza ki chepar tri ma to chu kona yang sa mizab chepar kanya mendos.
Actually, in the case of Milarepa, we can see that in the very beginning, his first teacher actually was a Dzogchen yogi, and he first practiced actually according to the Nyingma Dzogchen system. But to him personally, that did not really actually help him when it comes to cultivating renunciation and realizing the nature of mind. And later, he encountered his teacher Marpa, and from him he received the instructions on Mahamudra. And then based on these instructions, he attained enlightenment in this very lifetime. So it really shows that the difference comes about in terms of the person, but the Dharma itself of Mahamudra or Dzogchen is the same.
Nghe teren sem la turnang ter chung song serwa ngarang kisan serwa berna kartang ula lamar mutien ke chakchen kti nason teren nga su dzogchen kti nason rwa dzogchen kti yina ya anbe kanza ka he ya hin de ne be chakchen la mopa chimbo ro kanza ka he dzogchen la mopa chimbo ten yoris anbe so so kham tang mopa la ten For
example, today I also had a thought about this during the teachings, and I thought that first, a few days ago, Garchen Rinpoche gave us teachings on Mahamudra, and now he's giving us teachings on Dzogchen. And that is, I believe, probably because there are just some practitioners who have a closer connection to Mahamudra, and some have a closer connection to Dzogchen. So Rinpoche just gave all those teachings so that everyone finds something according to their own mental capacity and wishes.
Oh yeah. Hakoson?
Do you understand?
Yeah.
So next is a question about the wrathful form of Manjushri, Yamantaka. So if we have received one empowerment of one aspect of this deity, can we also practice another manifestation of the same deity?
And jirtang kartang rinpochen ke nga sutene njambar yinji yi ke ane be njambar chapu kwaan, shiwe kwaan taso tobre rwa. 이나때 잠베양 잠바르 커세된 잠바르 인지기 코나티 초가 또 그러봐 소드는 벤잠비 시라니 그 냠슬래야 코한테 토브레스가 소르와 마하칼라 왕 냠슬래고나야 마하칼레 코한테 톱고리 포르와 냠슬래고나 포르와 코한테 톱고리 스르와 왕제 앞에다 초가 초조가서 이래체 램지 뜨는 주응도 아는 가서 아디요가 주 아디그 주반다고 뜨는 제 아는 그 주반다고 타 제타 자주운다고 타 조주운다고 내 주대 망보요리스 and the Jude want on the Jude chat want to battle log maris, Jude so kind that he want to talk of grace. That makes it so okay. Telling us on Jambi on one top the Rwa. Yan Sani, Banjar Kalayat, and the Purwak and Yamla Chigona, Yan to Purwi want to talk grace.
And so now we have received empowerment of Manjushri Yamantaka from Garchen Rinpoche, which is a wrathful deity. And then within the sadhana or the cycle of practice, there are different manifestations, more peaceful, more wrathful. So having received this empowerment actually empowers us to practice all the aspects of the same deity. So however, if we want to practice a completely different deity, like Mahakala, for example, or Vajrakilaya, then you have to receive an empowerment of Mahakala or Vajrakilaya. And that is because the different lineages are transmitted in a graduated way, separately. For example, there is a lineage, an Ati Yoga lineage, or Anu Yoga lineage, or Charya or Kriya Yoga or Yoga Tantra and so on. There's many different classes of Tantra that are being transmitted. So that means that if you have received the empowerment of one class of Tantra, that doesn't mean that you have received an empowerment of all the classes of Tantra. So that just means that you can practice this specific Tantra or deity. And if you want to practice another class of Tantra, then you would have to receive another empowerment for that.
Terenga Europe la visa yun Europe la yong bani srwa. Yang are landro gona are visa je hugoris.
For example, now I wanted to come to Europe, so I needed to apply for a visa for Europe. But if I want to go to America, then that won't work. Then I would have to also get a visa for America.
Yes? Hakoso?
Understand?
That's good.
Next question is about the enlightened activities that one develops after attaining enlightenment. So the question is, what do we need those activities for? Because actually sentient beings only need to clear away their ignorance in order to attain Buddhahood. So why do we need all of these other activities?
Oh, Rangol China Kaya Gomendos, Ravate. Rangol China Gomendos. Shengol China Sanjintina Dumachiba Gogdos, Rava. And the be Shivik and do go atamchi, Shivik and Nambando, Trapin do go atamchi, Trapundua. Donna Simchiaki, ene rikpa tongsan gakpa mi ba ngu to bala korwa matong je warte sangen tene yuma chi ba gogdos hengola rangolan jigdos rikpa ngu to san ti chokdos.
So actually, from the perspective of the Buddhas themselves, those activities are not really necessary for them, but it's necessary to display various activities for the benefit of others, because other sentient beings have not realized the nature of their mind. And beings are different, and so they need to be tamed in different ways. For example, there is some for whom the peaceful methods are more suitable, and then there is others for whom the wrathful methods are more suitable, for example. And so basically then these activities are necessary until sentient beings have realized the nature of their awareness that is clear and empty and unceasing. And until then, those activities are necessary. But once that is recognized, then of course those activities are not necessary.
Ri. Ngaso rangol dena chuchen ke nawa tamchi chuni ki yang sine. Gongpa chuji yang sangus yesa na yang. Ane hen simchen tamchi yang tetang dawo tene be sanjik sala koya ak chi te. Hewe ke namban dawo, chapo ke namban dawo, ta namban dawo mda gon tene simchen ke tongzi kidwa teri simchen zo. Rangol dena chuchen ke nawa sdowa. De tamchi nangwat si chuni ke nang zo sarwa chuni ke nang zo sarwa tene gongpa chuji yens ane be sangje rwa sangje sare rangol tene tindik do ina he simchen namla korwa matong ji wat tene be an chile yuma chi ba ane chakpo hewa tene namban da menda sangje chile yuma chi sangje na yang chile yuma chi sia teres hakoso.
So from the Buddha's own perspective now, for when one attains enlightenment, then the various appearances of the holistic appearances all come to an end, and everything dissolves into reality itself, and one attains enlightenment into the space of the Dharmakaya. And so from that perspective, that is sufficient. There's nothing else to be done. But then, for the sake of sentient beings, to also establish them, lead them to the state of enlightenment, the Buddhas continue to manifest activities like peaceful and wrathful and so forth. So until all beings attain enlightenment, the activities of the Buddhas are also uninterrupted or continuous.
Form des Befriedens, des Vermehrens, des Einflussnehmens und die heftige Form und so weiter. So lange wie Samsara währt, ist es nötig, zum Wohle anderer dann dieses Buddha-Wirken zu vollbringen.
Ja, therefore. Hakoso?
Understand?
Ja? Okay. Thank you.
Hier ist eine Frage, die sagt, auf welche Art und Weise, wenn man also spricht von Yidams, also Gottheiten, Weisheitsgottheiten, Devas, oder man spricht von Atma-Sambhava.
So speaking about different Yidam deities like Guru Rinpoche, Padmasambhava, or Dharma protectors and so on, how do these deities actually exist?
Lama Yedam chuchung do ri do reba so ngurum buche lama rwa hanam thendo rwa rwa Okay. Ri Jirtang china Lama Yidam Kandro Chuchung Yoris Rwa. The Tamchi Yakbo Tena Nasu Sanji Kinchene Namba Jangbari Doris Rwa. Sanji Changchop Simbi Karanzo Simpian Ktondala Sam Hint Jeva Jungdu gashi lammi ki ngo tu gashi yidam ki ngo tu gashi chushong na ba tu ne ene simchen ton ane be kan la kan du ji sok na ba na so stone ne ene simchen kon dong chia teri doris so
So there's gurus, there is yidams, there is dakinis, there is dharma protectors. And actually, if we really think about what they actually all are emanations or manifestations of a Buddha. They are all manifestations of a bodhisattva who manifest intentionally for the benefit of sentient beings. So some of them manifest as lamas, some as yidam, some as dakinis, some as dharma protectors. But the Buddhas basically manifest in whichever way necessary to tame or benefit sentient beings.
Re ngasu jertang china sukchen ke matang sungmi ke landes kabren jogdo yina chu nen dendje di yore tandan dera yore soten tongje syo mari sirwa ngasu den be sem ke tenje mopa tang kuba tangnang changchop simbi tukchi tang derwa chaungdu yidam la namban dam da chuchok res rumu tanda chun dera yorda parkan dera yores tikeche yo maris benang gurumbu chenda usina tanda nga sofono usumbu yule hyo yoris keche ye gorwa sando par anerwa te yang tanda hyuksu tanda kandi hyuksu hyo urchana nga so tene lama rumbu chika chu na du zokchen ka nangla chikchu usya jek tang togar du sni yoris rwa ane togar ke nangwa hye yori ti nangin tar ki sonete Njalu pawa chenpo sene kienche regu rawang top de singjoris. Tin jalu pawa chenpo kor hen sonle penchen bama metratan ane lopong pema jungnes teso njokyoris. Ta teso jertang hijin dawo, gejin dawo, drejin dawo kaya melin njokyoris teres. Hiya dawo tang lo gepo chan dawa tang mele chan dawa siyomaris. Njalu sinjaklu jalu pawa chenpo kor hen seris.
So how do these Yidam deities exist, like Guru Rinpoche, for example? So now in our world, we speak about, for example, people who have a body, and then spirits, for example, or gods who don't have a body, and we live in a certain place. But this is not really how we can describe the existence of those deities. We can't say they live in that specific place. They are right there. But they basically manifest out of aspiration and pure perception, and as the natural activity arising out of bodhicitta. So from that force, all kinds of yidams and deities appear and manifest. But it's not like they are in some certain place, like, for example, they're over there, or maybe not, they're here. So it's not like that, even though we do say that Guru Rinpoche dwells in the southwestern Pure Land of the copper-colored mountain. But now Garchen Rinpoche gave us instructions on Dzogchen. And there's basically two parts to Dzogchen. There is the Chekchu, which is the direct cut, and then the Togal, which is the direct crossing. And in the Togal, we have 4 appearances. And when these are completed, then one attains the rainbow body. And when one attains the rainbow body, for example, like Vimalamitra or Guru Rinpoche, Padmasambhava, then one transcends this mortal, worldly dimension. Then one doesn't age, one doesn't die, one doesn't disappear.
Weise, wie sie bei Garchen und bei Padmasambhava zu beobachten war. Er ist also in einer Gestalt und Weise in dieser Welt, die nicht mehr dem Prozess des Entstehens, Vergehens oder Alterns und dergleichen unterworfen ist.
Then Jalum Poa Chembos Labgris, Pochen, Tuzungus be Gurumbo Chendang, Benchen Bama Metratiso, Karwan Tamaton was Gulutin Hugius Labgoris. Jalum Pochong Dabsina, Jalum Poa Chungchungina, Young as a Pumbo Tamti Langming drone. The Tatan Simon Machi Melale, Tunduchin Pumbo Zan Mele to 10 Hinduris, Mele Sojoris. Then also Tanda Yapo Nyas Lentom Nang, Tamchi Yung Juris, Rava. And then Rubuchin Kikatan Zopa Chimbo Kikachu Tsunang Yuris, also Nyamla Yakochi Tomna, Lakpar Togar, Nangmache, Togar Nangin Tarchine, and the Pumbo Dutens Tang, and then Jalikor King Juris, Naswina. What that Juris?
So this is called the great transference into the rainbow body, like in the case of Padmasambhava, Vimala Mitra, and so on. And these rainbow bodies actually are said to remain until the end of this aeon, for a very long time. They just remain within that state. And then there is also like a smaller transference into the rainbow body, and that is when we dissolve our physical body, and at the time of death, and the body completely disappears, and all that remains behind is one's hair and nails, fingernails, and so on. But the rest of the physical body completely dissolves into a rainbow body. And that's actually something that we can all accomplish if we practice with great diligence. Rinpoche gave us the instructions on Dzogchen, and actually that information was also included in those instructions, that if one completes the path of reaching the fourth level of the four appearances, one completes the entire path, then one can dissolve one's mortal body into the rainbow body. You understand?
Yeah? Okay.
Next question is about blessings. If you receive blessings from a teacher, how does that work? What does the blessing do to the person? And then also we are blessing different objects. Like how does the blessing go into the object, and what does the blessing do to the object?
Then Ben Yon Egos, Rava. Tirtantina Chinhap Siat Karsana, La make the thing in Zitan, Ngak Nupala Tene, and the Chinhap Junguris. Tambot Tike, Tingzik Nupatan, Ngak Nupala Tene, Chinhap Junguris, Tingzik Nupatan, Ngad Nupa.
So the first, regarding blessings, the blessings are twofold, and they come from the meditative absorption, the samadhi of the guru, and also the power of mantra. So due to these coming together, the samadhi and the mantra power, blessings arise.
And then Kartanranga Lamarimbochink, Dindis Lab Sonsrua. And then Tani Pula, Sok Zan Jonkin, Sok the Yorba, Sok Sonkin, Sok Tatan, was Simtian Sonkin Yorba, Zu Yorba, Simtian Sonkin, Zuka Hiji, Nyantin do the do, Namkaling also talk Yabdua, talk Hong Zorba, taught Yaundu, and the Muslim his those, his sons. Take Laksala, Lama Mujanachal in this juries, Tetiku Dinos. Why? They aren't not thinking the dead in the Pato Teres. Chinapking us to Chinap Tenjuguris. That Mati ni son here, Nayori. Then a hit and a hisson. Jay could not. Why did they do cool Laksan Dendo? Kushamas. Well, that is Nasutunga, Chinap Nupatus and Junguris.
For example, the other day, Garchen Rinpoche told me a story from Tibet. So there was this group of shepherds, and they were on a plain under the open sky, and then there was a thunderstorm with lightning, and the lightning struck a few people, like 3 or 4 people or so died from being struck by lightning. And then there was one person who survived, and that was the only person who was wearing this wristband or this bracelet that Rinpoche passes out with the liberation by seeing and touching mantra. And why is that? Rinpoche said it's because these bracelets, for example, these wristbands are blessed by samadhi, by meditative samadhi and mantra. And due to that, blessings have infused that person. So this one person didn't die. And the other 3 or 4 people who didn't wear this bracelet, they got killed by the lightning.
Ananga so kabri drupchen kaps rawa rakta dwa durs kung dilingen tongyong so kudel and the torman de youngdu tormal member dilingen tongyong merche tenditine te tamji tingi ditang and then ngak nupa jangbaris ya torma de parwa pal member go jum semdwa yoris tingi ditang ngak nupa so samji mecha paridoris.
So actually the power of samadhi and mantra is really actually quite astonishing. There were actually a few times when I saw that myself. One time there is this skull cups that are filled with nectar, this red liquid, and once I saw that it started to boil, like boiling water. And another time there was this dorma, and the dorma set on fire on its own. So on its own it started to just blaze with fire. And that's the power, that's all the power of samadhi and mantra. So the power of samadhi and mantra is really incredible.
Chava ina chokre, mecha pomu ina nenjor pomurwa, nenjor pomu ina chokre, go nakpo ina chokre, servo ina chokre, tamchi gyu la tingin di jinga ak nupa sa chenam yugjoris. Yugjoris, tamchi su drum na tel yugjoris.
And this power of samadhi and mantra, that is not exclusive to certain beings like lamas and so on. Anyone who practices can develop them. It can be a lama, it can be a monk, a nun, it can be a lay person like a yogi, a practitioner, it can be someone with black hair, someone with blonde hair. Anyone who practices samadhi and mantra can develop the same abilities.
나수 제지 누발 때는 텐상 세렉 막 출찬다면다 속도 상직 송도 땡인 주지 누파 싸매자 제지 누파 싸매자 나지 누파 싸매자 배 tanti chenap sia ta tang nupa sia ta tingin ji ji nupa ta chenap tarang le
senap de yabuin sambuin ba chapter mare
chikwa re da da re
senap ba tene mi to kare
a
mese to kare
jirtang aso chinji lab de tsek te tsek pe misike tsek yabu zo ke jirwa chinji lab ba re se bi anan de la pa ji cha la mi chenap yor da chinji ba rejit la mi ke pawan do tingin ji nupa do 또 장발이도 있어. 다 뜻은 쪽도.
So what we refer to as a blessing that comes from these qualities, the strength of one's mind, like the samadhi, and the mantra powers. And actually, also, for example,
다 뒤수가 신도로. 다 뒤수 신도도 공타 안에 트레인 팀삼시 안에 렌트 손적 손나 저랑서 다고 자가 약보다나 인디그리 안에 다고 자 아무다나 인데레 파 손도 인데레 파 통손나 쪽그레스 안에 까디체 드네 공타 내하고 리마 손도 공타스
So anyways, we don't have much more time left, and we have to stop here with the questions and answers. But now, if my words were useful of you, then please remember them. And if they were not useful for you, then you can let them in one ear and let them out the other ear, and you don't have to remember them. And then if they're not useful for you, then I apologize for that.
Thank you. Thank you very much.